And predictable as clockwork, just as always, tiresomely predictable. Jodie Whittaker blames boys for the show's failure. Now, this is massively predictable, just blaming the fans. I think what's interesting about this is in her own, in her own words, she reveals that identity politics is not. She contradicts her own argument basically by debunking the identity politics myth that people need representation to enjoy something, but then uses identity politics as a reason for people not watching her. So, tard, basically. All right, not TARDIS, she's a tard of the variety. So she spoke to UK's Telegraph and says, it's never been questioned that I had to look up to men. Right. So it's fascinating that we women, could not be role models. The Doctor is still the Doctor, but also I was playing an alien. My gender was not the issue. Right. So it's never been questioned that I had to look up to men. So she liked Doctor Who as a young girl, right? So she looked up to the male doctors, and then boom. So that debunks identity politics representation argument that she then goes to use. So it's fascinating that for some, we women could not be role models. Because she seems to be arguing that her being a woman shouldn't have affected how audiences, particularly boys, viewed the Doctor as a role model. Well, yeah, you're right. Like, it shouldn't. But this is the argument that these people make all the time. Identity politics is that's the thing that they always do. And then anyway, it goes on to be like the backlash. It was really loud rage from a noisy few. That's not true because you lost millions of viewers. So there's that. That's obviously it's not exactly a few, is it? Let's be honest. And she was sent into a spiral when she thought about how her performance may affect others playing the Doctor following her because she was a woman. Again, playing this identity politics all the time. If Peter Capaldi hadn't been good as the Doctor, it would only have reflected on him. Whereas I felt that if I wasn't very good at this, I've effed it for other actors. I think it's completely unacceptable if that was the case, but that's how I felt. I mean, yeah, don't worry, love. The guy who's just followed you is even worse, so it doesn't really matter. But there you go. That's it, really. I mean, it's just that blame game, backlash. It's just it's just a few people. It's not, is it? Though, come on. We know it's not a few people. Come on. We got the figures. We got the viewing figures. We know how many people stop watching. Come on. And then this nonsense.
Talk about. Sorry.
No, go. Yeah, I'm just sort of rambling now.
I mean, to talk about having a chip on her shoulder. I mean, it feels like she's actually got penis envy, right? That she's profoundly disappointed that she wasn't born a boy. Right? We'll never get over the fact that she's not a bloke.
She loves it so much, she wishes she had one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and can never come to terms with the fact that she's a woman. That's my armchair psychology, but I'd put money on it. No, she's got a chip on her shoulder, and I'm not here for it. Like, yeah, I don't give a shit about the chip on her shoulder. And someone said in the chat, like, what is she, in second grade? Yeah, like, boys. It's real playground stuff. Boys. Boys.
Infantilizing. That sort of weird language that people keep using.
It's retarded. And I mean that, like, quite literally. It's like, it's backward, retarded thinking. Like a child.
Yeah. Go on, Culture. Chime in, bud.
Not a huge fan of this lady. I would say that her Doctor was the beginning of the terrible end to it all. Take away, the terrible writing Capaldi had to suffer underneath, and look further down the road. There was a possibility for a save. In fact, many of us expected that the woke titty dude, now whatever the hell his name is, Russell Davies, was going to do that. Of course he didn't. We got probably the worst doctor in her, and then every other doctor was the worst doctor after her, and that includes a doctor I used to like. I think she's ignorant. You pointed out she was talking out of both sides of her face. I think she lacks an understanding for the cult that she joined, and doesn't really appreciate the fact that she's in the extreme minority, helping to prop up a even more extreme minority, an infinitesimally small group of humans. She's not very bright. Most actors and actresses are not. Sorry, friends. And she's out of her depth when she talks about any of these subjects. I don't have anything nice to say about her. I think that the audience fell away because of the focus on, again, this tiny, infinitesimally small portion of humanity. Just like the reason politics are falling apart for all these extreme, progressive freak shows. So, I mean, she's an example of the brain dead approach to any of this stuff, and she's well, I don't know, a simpleton maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would agree with all of that. Nick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, she's so freaking weirdo, and I don't watch Doctor Who, and I don't care anything about it. But she's a weirdo.
Yeah, absolutely is. Chrome Clan Designs super chatted $2 and says, "If Jodie is right, then H's fondness of H.P. Lovecraft concerns me. Check your trousers for tentacles." Buddy. Chrome Clan Design says, "Penis envy, bring it back." As well.
Make penis envy great again.
Oh dear, oh dear. Right, well, no, there you go. Just more nonsense in the world of Doctor Who. I don't think there's any headline that's positive aside from the fact that they're going to be cancelled, but that's a matter of perspective on positivity there, I guess. But yeah, let's move on from that.